But first, the letter R. The letter R forms a round lip shape, R, like the W in the last module, W. Let's compare them. Look at these words. Run, one. Raid, wade. Did you see a difference? In both movements, the lips have a round shape. The R is more open, while the W is more like a kiss. Are you getting used to reading my lips? Being familiar with how a person speaks and with their facial expressions and gestures is one of the biggest helps to speech reading. Familiarity is important, and so is practice. Speech reading takes lots of practice. I hope you're practicing your speech reading often with family or friends or even the television. We'll be talking about relatives later in this module, and here's a group of my relatives that I'd like to tell you about. In this speech reading exercise, you'll see a short paragraph about each of my R relatives. Before each paragraph begins, you'll be introduced to a few of its R words. Then you'll see each paragraph twice, once with no voice and no captions, and once with voice and captions. Use your remote control and run through these a number of times. Lower the volume and try it all with no voice or a quiet voice. And always go through the no voice, no caption section again to reinforce what you've learned. Have fun with this one. Racer. Drives. Rich. Uncle Ronald is a racer. He drives fast cars. He travels all over the world with his race cars. You think he must be my rich uncle. Well, he has rich sponsors who pay for his cars. If he wins, he'll get rich too. Runner. Training. Marathon. Cousin Rebecca is a runner. She runs in races. Almost every day, rain or shine, she goes running. She's always training for another race or marathon. I think it's the races and marathons that keep her going. She always has lots of energy and she stays fit and healthy. Runs. Grocery. Trouble. Auntie Rachel is a runner too. She runs for the telephone. She runs to the washing machine. At the grocery store she runs. She runs to keep all her appointments. Rachel is the mother of a toddler. We call him Trouble because you can't leave a toddler alone for a minute without trouble happening. Rachel loves trouble. Reader. Breakfast. Library. Sister Robin is a reader. She reads all the time. Robin always has her book with her. At the breakfast table, in the car, at lunch hour, walking home from school, before she falls asleep at night. Robin goes to the library and she loves bookstores. Reading is a good habit. Rider. Weather. Skateboard. Brother Ryan is a rider. He rides the bus to school. When the weather is warm, he rides his bicycle. He likes to ride his skateboard in summer and his snowboard in winter. At the lake, he rides in a motorboat and water skis. He rides horses too. I think Ryan would rather ride than run. You may have noticed that you understand your relatives and friends better than you do other people. That's because of the familiarity factor we talked about at the beginning of this module. It's another sound idea. When you're familiar with a person's speech patterns, gestures, and speech movement, you'll find speech reading easier. Remember those homophones we mentioned in a few of the earlier modules? Homophones are words that look alike on the lips but have different meanings. You have to sort them out by using context. Let's try a few that begin with R. Ready? Do you see raid or rain in these sentences? When I'm hungry, I raid the fridge. And another one. We didn't go camping because of the rain. Do you see roam or rope in this sentence? My dog likes to roam all over the neighborhood. Homophones are challenging, but by watching for the context, they do become easier to identify.
We've spent a lot of time talking about how the hard of hearing person can manage their hearing loss. In this module, we'll look at the impact a hearing loss has on the people who are closest to you. We'll talk to several people who